fun rocking in the free world.
Hey y'all! Alright, so I got some news. I finally gave notice at my job. The same job I've had for many years. And I am not going to be doing the weekly commute back and forth between my island and the mainland. It's just too much. And also, you know, it's fall now. It's getting to be wood stove season, and I have my 2 cats here, so I can't be leaving them here for a few days a week to freeze while I'm driving a truck on the mainland. So I just decided it's time. I've been thinking about this all summer, actually, about when to do it, and now's the time. Half of this island is hiring. The biggest problem is most employers can't find somebody who has accommodation on the island. It's very hard to find a place. Well, I have my own place here, so what the hell am I doing commuting into the city? I got a couple more weeks of going back and forth, but after that I'm going to be able to spend my time actually focusing on this little cabin and also my new van project. Now, inevitably a lot of people have been asking, are you going to give up van life, Justin? Or you've already given up van life or whatever, and it's like, no, I don't see that at all. This is just another stage in my life. Things change. Like I said before, never say never to anything. You never know what life is going to throw at you. And what is van life? For many people, van life is hitting the road and traveling all the time. And then for many other people, van life is simply buying and living in a van, parked in a backyard or on a farm, or like I did for years, within a major city. And, you know, once in a while going away on the weekends, but it was never about traveling for me. I never had the travel bug. I didn't feel a need to actually drive the van outside the city, other than to places like these islands, which are very close by. So van life was never about travel for me. Van life, the term van life can mean many things to many different people. And whether the van itself is moving or not is irrelevant. If you've chosen the van to live in as your main home base, that's van life. Doesn't matter to me if it even has friggin' wheels on it. It's still van life. So I'm not giving up the van life. In fact, one of the main reasons I bought this property over several others I was looking at, including one which was a small private island, only an 1.5 acre island, actually next to this island, is the reason I decided against that idea. As novel as it would have been to have my own little private island, to have it, then I'd have to, you know, obviously get a dinghy. It was only 2 minutes from the main island, so it would be easy to go back and forth and get supplies and groceries and all that. But one of the main reasons I didn't do it is I don't want to give up my vehicles, and I don't want to give up the vans. And so I wanted a property where I had road access and I could have my vans. And now my van life, instead of being on the side of a street in the city, is going to be 400 meters above sea level, on top of a mountain on an island with amazing billion-dollar views. So that's now going to be my van life. And I've also got the tiny cabin, which is just an oversized van on concrete blocks, basically. So this place is basically for the cats, let's be honest. I'm just their caretaker. I'm allowed in to feed them and cuddle with them. But I've set up now. I've got a bed up here, and I have my sofa downstairs, my TV, and my wood stove in here, so it's actually quite nice. And it's going to be very similar. There's no shortage of blogs, websites, YouTube channels of people doing the van life with their property and on their own land, and they have multiple accessory type buildings, like, you know, sheds and workshops or storage, or their tiny cabin, but they still have their van and they're still doing the van life. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be in the cabin some of the time, I'll be in the van some of the time, but for now, what I want to do is focus on the new van build, because it's basically almost starting from scratch, and it'll be my hobby, and I can use this cabin as my home base while I do my van thing. And I am a stone's throw away from other islands, including Vancouver Island, and how perfect is it to have my van to get out of town. It's get away from my property and go explore the other islands and campsites and Vancouver Island. And I have a ton of friends on Vancouver Island, and they're closer to me now than they were when I lived in Vancouver. And it's even easier for me now to do my weekend trips than it was before. So really, the only thing that's changed is the location of where my van is going to be parked most of the time. But nothing else is really going to change. Having this, though, is a huge difference in my life. So now I'm going to have this tiny house, basically. It's going to be off the grid, disconnected, like I explained before. It's not going to be your typical tiny house, you know, with plumbing and electricity and all that. Everything is going to be self-contained, just like a van, just like an RV. And that's fine with me, because I'm used to living that way. So what else do I need? And I'll be quite happy with that. I've got a place now for bringing up friends and family as well. The existing tiny sleeping cabin that was already on the property, I'm going to renovate it, and it's going to be kind of the guest house as well. And then I'm going to have my van parked out front. So this is just the next stage of my van life. Plain and simple. So hell no, I ain't giving up my van life. What I am going to do, as I did hint to a little while ago, is I'm going to clean out the white step van, my Ford Utilitamaster step van, which you guys have all seen the last couple of years on YouTube, and I'm going to list it up for sale. I know one or two of my viewers was already asking me to sell it to them. I forget who you are. I apologize. If you see this video, reach out to me. Go to my website, justincredible.tv. You can send me a message there with your contact information. I will get back to you if you want it. Otherwise, I'll just sell it locally. These things, they go for quite a bit on the market because they're bulletproof and they're aluminum bodies. They'll never rust. However, I'm taking things out of it that I need for this build. The tiny little sheds that I have next to this cabin, one of them is going to be the kitchen cabin, the other one's going to be a sort of a bathroom cabin. And I'm going to put in the little shower stall in there. And I'm going to take the brand new propane stovetop that I put in the step van. I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to use that in one of the other structures. So I'm going to take it out and sell it as a shell to whoever else wants to make it into the camper they want. So it's already got the electrical insulation, the paneling, all that's done. It'll just be an empty shell for whatever somebody wants to do with it. So when that van is gone, then I'll have more room here for the new van project. And then I'll have all my living essentials set up between the small structures built here, so I can play around, tinker with my van over the winter, and hang out with my cats, stay warm and cozy, chop firewood. I mean, that's going to be my life this winter, basically. I don't know if I'm going to get another job right away or not. I'm not really in a big rush this winter, but like I said, this island is hiring, and then come springtime, it gets busy, and then everywhere's looking for work desperately. So there's no shortage of work here, and thankfully, I'd say half this island or more is very much anti-establishment. Well, you know, let's just say nobody's going to care if you've taken an unnecessary jab. Nobody's gonna care about that sort of thing. So it's a pretty good place to be if you're a critical thinking person such as myself. It's a good place to live. So, not giving up van life, just changing my location. That's really all there is to it. And I'm adding some things to my van life. I'm making a mecca to park the van at. It's going to be like my own private van RV resort for my van. There you go. Keep on rocking the free world, everyone.